Hello everybody, hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back today with another dumpster diving or skip diving video for you. So if you're new to this, I've posted a few of these sorts of videos before. Essentially what this is going to be is I'm going to show you items that I have found either in skips, which is basically like a giant dumpster if you're from the US, that people throw all of their rubble, unwanted items into if they want to get rid of it, but that's going to be sent to landfill essentially. So all of this stuff won't be being recycled, usually it is just going off to landfill. Or sometimes I'll find things that people have just discarded and left outside of their homes for people to take. So in the UK, I think it's called skip diving, which is like essentially you dive into the skip, although I wouldn't recommend that because skips are often full of things like old bits of wood with nails sticking out of them and broken glass, broken pots, that kind of thing. So definitely don't dive into a skip if you see one. But maybe if you do see a skip, just keep your eyes peeled because you never know what you might find. And equally, at this time of year, I know a lot of people are decluttering their homes, and sometimes people will just leave things discarded out on the pavement for people to take, or it might be being left out there waiting to be collected to be taken off to the rubbish dump. In which case, I think it's perfectly okay to help yourself to it. But I've done a few videos on this already, so lots of the pieces in my home I actually have found. So I got them completely free. Some of them I've upcycled, some of them I just gave a really good clean and introduced them to my home. So if you want to see the house tour where I go around and show you all of the pieces that I have dumpster dived, skip dived, whatever you want to call it, then do check that one out. I'll leave it in the description box for you because it really surprised me going round the place just how much stuff is here that has been found completely free that was being thrown away. So I've seen a few pieces recently and lots of them I left behind, but I do often snap things and share them on my Instagram stories as well. So if you want to follow me over there, it's Mr. Carrington Home, and that's where I generally will snap things and say, look what I've just seen on the street. I'm not taking it home because I don't want to end up in an episode of The Hoarder Next Door. But a few bits that I have picked up I'm going to be showing you in this video. So before we get into it, if you're new here, click subscribe for weekly videos and give this one a thumbs up if you enjoy it. And I'll leave any of these kind of related videos in the description box down below if you want to click through and have a watch of some more of these style of videos. So let's start off with this tray that I found. I've actually been using this in my kitchen. I'm in the middle of doing up my kitchen and I was actually using this as a painting tray. I just lined it with tin foil because I could not find a paint tray anywhere. That always happens when I'm painting at home. I don't know where they hide. But anyway, this I found being thrown out. It was just left down the side of some bins. That's the place to look really. If you're keeping your eyes peeled, just look near bins. Essentially you need to be a bit of a womble. So making good use of the things that we find, the things that the everyday folk leave behind. So basically I am a human womble, so if I see something that the everyday folk have left behind, or discarded in this case, I don't think anyone just casually left behind a tray by the bins. They'd thrown it away because probably it's slightly tarnished, but I thought that's a really good solid piece still. It does have some marks on it, but it's very intricate, really nice. I'm guessing the metal on this is probably like a steel, or I'm not sure actually. Let me know what you think it is in the comments. As you can see, it's got quite an intricate pattern on it, especially around the edges. So I thought I'd bring it home and just see what I could do with it. And if I don't end up using it, even though I have been using it just to get the kitchen painted, but if I don't end up using it, I can always redonate that. Potentially that could be sold in a charity shop. Maybe I just need to give it a little polish. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you know what metal this is and what era that would be. I don't know if it's an old thing or a replica. I'm not sure. It's kind of just pressed metal, so probably nothing like expensive, but it looks quite fancy, doesn't it? And I did at Christmas time actually use this to serve some drinks on, and they looked well posh on that. They were kind of all reflecting nicely in the tray. So yeah, I thought that was quite good, considering it was on its way to the dump anyway. The next thing that I found was this teapot. Now this was actually left out on the bins. So sometimes people will put things on top of the bins that are really for people to take because they probably don't want to throw them away. They haven't bothered taking them down to a charity shop. And so I found this teapot. So it's this really nice white and blue design with these little flowers all over it. And this is by Farval. It's hand painted in Portugal. And yeah, I gave it a little wash and it's come up really nice. I'm actually going to be giving this to Kate McCabe, who is collecting teapots. Here on YouTube, if you haven't seen her channel already, I'll leave it in the description box down below. She does lots of hauls of things that have been thrifted or from car boot sales and that sort of thing. So definitely go and check her out if you haven't done so already. Sorry, my nose is itching. I'm not sure what's going on. I think it might, there's some dust. Sorry about that. But yes, definitely go and check Kate's channel out. This will be going to Kate to be part of her teapot collection in her teapot cupboard. So yeah, I think she'll really like that. I've already sent her a picture of it and she quite liked it. I also found this jug. This one, again, looks hand painted. And this reminds me of one that somebody might have brought back from their holidays. I'm thinking like Portugal or somewhere, I'm not sure. Let me know if you recognise the design or the style of this jug, what it would have been used for. I feel like it's kind of a souvenir style jug, but I'm not really sure. But I thought it was really nice. I'm not sure if I'll keep this, but I like playing around with things. I like styling up different areas in my home. So really like the blue and white actually. I've seen a lot of this in Zara Home. The blue and white design can look really nice. I'm imagining that with some nice like white lacy bedding, cushions, that sort of vibe. Very kind of fresh, blue and white, kind of seaside nautical, I guess. I'm not sure. What do we think? Anyway, let me know what you think of it in the comments. And as I say, if I don't find a place for this, I can donate that to the charity shop and they'll probably be able to make some money with that. So it's been rescued either way. Really pleased with that. A lot of the time I'll find wood in the skip. Like before you buy wood, definitely have a look for wood, because wood's expensive if you go to the DIY stores or to the builders merchants, and you often find it being thrown out. So if you can find it, all the better, because you're just going to rescue it from the landfill and be able to use it in your home. This is actually a wooden shelf from Ikea. It's still got the label on it. The story behind this is some people were moving out of their home near to me, and they were in the process of moving. The van was there, but all of these were piled up outside their home with a sign on them saying please take. So therefore I knew that they weren't part of the moving process. You don't want to be like wandering off with somebody's furniture while the moving van's there, can you imagine? They might be calling after you if you do that. But if it has got a sign on it saying please take, obviously you are welcome to take it, which I did. There was 4 of these shelves. I'm guessing they were probably people that were renting and maybe had to take them down before moving on to their next place. I imagine that's the scenario. Along with a load of these. There was enough for the 4 shelves, so there was 4 pairs of these, and these are wooden brackets, again from Ikea, which I'd actually been thinking about getting anyway for the spare room / office. So 4 of these shelves and 4 of these brackets I now have. So I'm thinking I'll be putting, those up in there for a bit of additional storage. And they also had 4 of these style brackets as well, which are just plastic ones. Not as nice, but I thought these are quite handy for out of sight places. I mean, some people might like the look of these, but they're not really my style. But for me, I thought they'd be quite handy maybe inside the boiler cupboard or somewhere like that. So I picked them up, and if I don't use them, I'll just donate them again. They can go on to a good home. And the last thing that I've got to show you that was being discarded is this Le Creuset pot. I cannot believe that somebody was just throwing this out. They'd literally discarded it by the bins, and I thought there must be something wrong with it. It must be chipped. Had a good look, and it is absolutely fine. There's the base, and it's one of these kind of, I think they're called a soup pot, are they, or bean pot or something like that. So this will be really lovely. I'm thinking when I've used the slow cooker, I could transfer what's in the slow cooker into that, and that would be a really nice way, of serving things then onto the table from the kitchen. I think that is fab, so I'm very, very pleased with that. I had a little look online, and these are pricey. They are expensive. So yeah, very, very pleased to find a Le Creuset pot just being discarded. So all of that stuff was completely free. So I do recommend that you keep your eyes peeled in your area. I get a lot of comments from people saying that in their area nothing decent gets thrown out, but I honestly have spied things all across the UK. I've spied things on my travels, which is the worst when I'm in Europe or even further afield. I sometimes spy things. I remember in New York I saw so much good stuff being thrown out, and I was like, oh, I wish I could take that, wish I could take that, but obviously you can't get it home on the aeroplane. Same when I'm going around the UK, I'll often spy things, and I really do think it is just a case of looking, keeping your eyes peeled, and you never know what you might find. And also don't forget, if you don't want to look in skips or in near bins or anything like that and you think it's dirty, what I would say about that, things like this, okay, you eat in a restaurant regularly, you'll eat out regularly. Those plates have been eaten off by somebody else before you, they've been through a wash. It's exactly the same when you find things in the skip, near a bin. You just need to wash it, it's the same. We all sit on public transport, we all share furniture when we go to public places. We don't have an issue with that. Do be careful if you are skip diving though, maybe get some gloves. Do be careful of things like sharp nails, broken glass, all of that kind of thing, and do always ask permission as well if it could be somebody's property. But if you don't want to go out looking for stuff, another thing you can do is have a look on local forums and places like that, places like Free Cycle, where people will be listing stuff that they don't want anymore. So that's a really good place to look online to maybe find some free bits for yourself. Let me know if you found anything for free in the comments down below, what your best free find has been, if you have found anything and been that lucky. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Do click subscribe for weekly videos. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.